recording?
What's up, guys? Clubhouse Sports. Reporting live from Cleveland, Ohio, Canton, Ohio, Tampa Bay, and Oklahoma with vendetta against the Dodgers. Young, how's it going over there?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, it was debate. You're 50-50 this week. Paulie, how about you?
I'm great. Can't complain. How are you?
Just here having a good time. Tom, trippy trip in a couple weeks.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Ask me.
Have another drink.
What is drunk?
Had a couple drinks. Saw a couple things.
We're off the rails early. We were off the rails before this pod started. I just wanted to touch on college football really quickly because we ran long last week talking about how great Caleb Williams in Oklahoma was. Couldn't even score in the first half against Kansas. And just wanted to make my stance known going down the stretch here. Ohio State's the second best team in the country. Oklahoma was going to lose by 21 points in the playoffs, and I don't care who they play.
They're going to lose by what? Sorry.
Oklahoma's going to lose by 21 points in the playoffs, and I don't care who they play. Not care one bit.
They're going to make it, though?
Well, if they play all these shit teams they're going to play, they're going to get in. If they win out, they'll have to get in. But I see you laughing.
Who do they play down the stretch?
Oh, the great Oklahoma State squads of the world. They'll probably have to play Iowa State again, 2-loss Iowa State, who couldn't even score 20 points against Iowa. But my point about Ohio State is I have to watch them put up 50 points 4 or 5 weeks in a row. And someone let me know when it's going to matter because, nobody else is putting up 50 points against garbage-ass teams, not even Georgia. So I don't understand why Ohio State gets no credit for it. All right,
aren't they fifth in the country right now?
Yeah, they're fifth in the country. That's why you're sitting there laughing. What's the wrong with me saying they're the second best team in the country?
You're saying they should be ranked higher. You're saying they're not getting any love.
No. I'm telling you right now, the AP poll never ranks off of record. It always ranks off record and not how good people actually think the teams are. I'm just telling you Ohio State's the second best team. And you can tell me Alabama's second best. I'm not going to push back a ton on that one, but I think Ohio State's better.
So you're making this strong stance now.
Yes,
You're passionate today.
I'm getting ahead of this. Ohio State.
Most fire. I think this is the most fire we've heard out of you in a while.
You're definitely getting ahead of it. I'm just saying they have a tough stretch in the Big Ten to go, so they better keep playing like they are.
Here's an idea: beat Oregon, then we won't have to worry about any of this.
Hey, that's fine. We had freshman quarterback in there trying to win a big game to start the year. Didn't get it done. We'll see if he can get it done down the stretch. I think he will, but I don't want to hear any more about.
Play against Akron, I believe. He did not play against Akron, did he?
Yeah, he did not. I don't know what that. Well, you could have beat Akron at quarterback. I don't really know what point you're trying to make there, but
I'm just saying. Never mind. Just go to the next thing.
All I'm saying is Kyle and Chuck were sucking Caleb Williams the last 2 weeks, and I'm here to tell you
about that.
I'm here to tell you.
Because I saw him.
Tom, is this true? I think we spoke about it. I think he's a better option than their other starter, but
don't make me put our texts up on the Clubhouse Sports Twitter account, Kyle. But I will.
He's still a freshman.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not writing the book on it. I'm just saying Oklahoma's not winning a playoff game. I'd put my life on it. Anybody got a Heisman pick? Anybody got a Heisman pick or no?
C.J. Stroud.
I'm not willing to go to there. I'm not going to be irrational, but he is
Why?
third.
He's a third favorite.
Yeah, he's a third favorite. I know. Kyle, what do you think?
Irrational about that?
Who's that? Henderson?
No, Stroud's third favorite right now.
Oh, who's
what
top
about
five?
Mark Ingram?
Mark Ingram. He
did win a Heisman.
That's wild. Matt Corral's 2, Bryce Young's 1, that Kenny Pickett's 4, who I've literally never heard of until this week.
He's been playing really well.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to watch Pitt now since they.
Is Michigan State still undefeated? Correct.
Yes.
Yep.
So Walker's probably still in it. They got a big matchup with Michigan this week.
Yeah, you want to touch on that at all, or you want to we can recap that next week?
We can recap that next week.
All right. Moving on, Tom. How was your experience in old Tampa Bay Lightning game?
We got beat. But it was still fun.
Was that the overtime? The shootout?
No, I wish.
Oh, that was the – did you go opening night?
No, I just went on a Tuesday.
Mm.
Do they actually have a real chance to like three-peat?
I mean, yeah, they were pretty much an all-star team. They think they're good.
Has anyone ever done that before?
I don't know, Kyle. Has anyone ever three-peated?
Not in a long time. I know that.
Wow.
If ever.
I mean, they probably got as good a shot at it as anyone, I would guess. They're still good. They lost a couple guys to, like, the freaking Kraken.
They lost some of their back-end forwards who did a lot for them, but they still got all their stars.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So they're my preseason pick, so yeah, I've got all the faith in the world in them.
All right, and we'll just before we lose every single person on the podcast, Chuck, World Series preview.
Oh.
What do you got for us?
World Series preview?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Braves versus the Astros.
What are we doing here, guys?
You got a pick, Chuck?
Yeah, Braves. They got the magic.
Wow, man. You really
What about you?
I picked the Braves when we got our second chance of picking this thing, and I'm going to ride with them. Austin Riley, truther. I just think that, the bats are hot. Their bullpen's starting to find some magic. What do you think, Paulie?
I don't know. The Stros are playing really well. Are they going to be able to keep up with all that scoring?
I mean, you got to give the Braves credit because they did all this without old Acuna and without Ozuna and Mike Soroka, their pitcher that was supposed to be really solid.
Tom Glavine.
Yep, Tom Glavine's been out for a couple months, and then Chipper Jones has been battling a sore jaw. So, I don't know. I think the Braves got the magic, and that's what it is. You always need that little October kick.
Tom, what are your thoughts on this October kick?
I think the battery there in Atlanta is bringing the energy.
The battery.
Jolt. So, yeah, I like the Braves. Is there still a thing like the All-Star game? Whoever wins that is the
No,
home
that's not a
favorite?
thing anymore. I don't believe.
They took that thing away.
It's the only reason the All-Star game mattered.
Correct.
That is true.
But all right, well that was fun. We're off to a wicked start here, so we're gonna take a quick break. All right, now we're gonna switch gears to the NFL. So if anyone's still listening to this one, we talk about some of our predictions to start the year and where we've been wrong and where we've been right. I'll start with where Chuck went wrong. Now, this was difficult. I had to comb through the preview episode that we put together, and Young missed a lot. He left the Bills out of the playoffs, had the Niners in the Super Bowl. So I went with the Arizona Cardinals. Young, what did you miss on the Arizona Cardinals?
Well, being a Niners fan, we've never really seen that the Cardinals be consistent for too long. So, I just kind of went with what I've seen the last couple of years, and Cliff Kingsbury, didn't really have it all together. But, yeah, I was wrong on that one. They still haven't fucking lost. Here we are 2 months into the year. Kyler's going to be an MVP. I didn't think he'd be this good. And the defense, I wasn't a big believer in J.J. Watt in defense, but they've been pretty legit. So, yeah, chalk this one up as another L. I think if you're listening, at this point, everything I say, probably do the opposite. So that's kind of how it's looking.
I still don't believe in the Cardinals. I don't know why.
In what sense?
To
7-0, you don't believe in them?
in the sense of actually winning a Super Bowl, I don't believe in it. I could see them getting bounced in the first playoff game they play in. I just don't. I think the NFC is pretty good. I think there's some pretty good teams, and Cardinals have caught some breaks. It looks like they're going to catch another one this week with the Packers missing half their guys for COVID. So we'll see how it goes. Anybody else got anything to add about the Cardinals?
It's a big Thursday night game.
Yeah.
Who's officially out?
The problem with it is
is 12 in there?
No, but Devontae Adams is in there, and then you got a lot of the defensive staff will be out. So, and the problem is it's a Thursday night, so they're not going to get the time to quarantine and see if they're going to be able to go. So I think that might really fuck up a good game.
I think it'll be a good test either way.
Hopefully. But transition to another team that we had Super Bowl expectations going into this season, and we thought every season for 10 years. Tom, you've lived and died by picking the Chiefs this year in every possible matchup. What has gone wrong for the Chiefs?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely boned me. I think I've probably like 0-4 or however many times we've picked. I picked them every time. I can't keep doing it to myself. But I don't know. I mean, their defense stinks, and apparently they don't have an offense anymore either because they scored 3 points. So not sure what the problem is. Patrick Mahomes isn't really taking care of the football, and he's not able to put the team on his back like he has been showing like he's been able to do. So I don't know really what the deal is. They're just getting beat, mostly because I think their defense stinks and the offense can't keep up. But like I said, they just scored 3 points. So I don't know. Do you have an answer? Because I don't know what the heck's going on there.
Well, I know Kyle, Chuck, and I talked about on the podcast you slept through like a month or so ago. We really thought a guy like Nick Bolton was going to step up and spearhead this defense and make some plays. Now, Kyle, the defense kind of slowed down the Titans this week. What are you seeing out of this offense that can't even put up 3 points against a team that lost to the Jets?
I just think they are relying probably too much on their, big pieces, and in the sense of, not necessarily gadget plays, but they are opening it up, and they put a lot on Mahomes' shoulders. I think that's forced him to make some, decisions with the ball that you don't normally see from him, even though he has that gunslinger type of rep. But either way, I think they got to start, going back to winning up front in the trenches, get a run game going. So takes a little pressure off of Mahomes again, because they've been relying on him and some of those big weapons they have for a while now.
What do you think's wrong with Mahomes right now? It seems like he's been wildly inaccurate and not able to make any big plays.
I can't speak on last week, but I think he's just, he's gotten into trying to make everything, come off of scramble and run and off timing. I think they got to get back to running the things they used to run and, staying within the offense a little bit. I think he's trying to do too much.
Yo,
I think in the huddle they're just getting sick and tired of hearing his voice.
I think he's doing too many fucking commercials.
Oh, here we go with a commercial take.
Just like Baker a couple of years ago. If you can't get chemistry with your receivers and running backs if you're at the fucking State Farm playing all damn day, taking film shots and doing interviews, and I don't know. Mahomes is on every other commercial nowadays, so I think maybe he's letting his ego get in the way. I'm thinking he might be traded here in the next couple of weeks.
Well, this week is the trade deadline, so you would have 1 week to do it. Whoa,
Just saying.
Trent's coughing up a lung over there.
We lost you there, Rose. I don't know what you guys think. A lot was talked about how they, redid this offensive line, and I don't know if it's necessarily turning out in the sense that they wanted to.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's move on to the shitty Miami Dolphins that Trent was just wet for to start the year.
Yeah, that was a good one. Good take.
Well, there's a little bit of recency bias, a little bit of believing in the Miami Dolphins defense and Brian Flores being a good coach. But, I mean, this is after a loss to Urban Meyer and the Jaguars and a loss to Arthur Smith and the Atlanta Falcons at home. I don't know. I don't know what this team does going forward. They're in the Deshaun Watson talks for a quarterback. They're going to trade multiple first-round picks for that may not ever get to play again. Like I feel like this team's stuck in the middle. They wasted a bunch of first-round picks a couple of years ago. If they end up with Justin Herbert right now, everybody would be calling on the new hot young team. So, real bad take. I don't know. Anybody else had anything they see about the Dolphins?
I think you hit on it. They traded away a lot of their, talent and assets they had for these draft picks and put a lot into kind of carrying them in a sense and being, worth that top 5 pick. And I don't think they've hit on a lot of these other guys and maybe spending free agency where they should have, which could have helped out.
Why were they even good last year again?
I guess Ryan Fitzpatrick, it looks like. I mean, they're good defensively last year, but I think everybody kind of thought they'd take a step forward, but they have not one bit. Young, what do you think's wrong with Tua?
I don't know. It's something about these damn lefties. They're just not that good. I mean, you don't ever see good lefty quarterbacks from what I can remember. Matt Leinart, he was pretty solid.
Matt Leinart was solid?
That was sarcastic.
Oh, shit.
But anyways, I think the Dolphins, this is going to go down as one of those Kevin Durant, Greg Oden type deals where, they had a chance to pick Justin Herbert and they just didn't. And he just went right behind the Chargers who, I mean, he's going to be lighting it up. So I think he's a bust. He's done.
You're
he had
calling
a good
it?
game. It was the reason they lost last.
Yeah,
week.
I'm not giving up on Tua, but I just want to hear Young's official call it.
I agree with Chuck that I don't know if you kind of see that Herbert is what that offense revolves around and he makes a lot of guys better. And I don't know if Tua is playing at that level right now, but I also wouldn't go to the fact that he's a bust. I think there's something there, but you also have to build, a different type of team around him compared to Herbert, really just taking the keys and going with it.
I think it's almost pretty locked up that at least for the first couple of years of his career, Justin Herbert's going to be the better player. I just don't think Tua is somebody they want to throw away, but they want to throw him away after he hasn't even started his 16 games yet. So I don't know. I just think he needs more time.
If they are in on Watson, I think he's helping his value as a trade asset somewhere else. If it's not in Miami, I think there are teams that would want a shot at him.
But Young, you're done with him.
Yeah, I think so. I'm just not a big on the whole lefty thing. Just doesn't look right. I'm
actually not the biggest Tua fan either, but he did have a decent game yesterday.
Yeah, but he still had 2 picks though, and I don't know. Like you said, they've been had a lot of picks, and they just botched them.
He's just left-handed.
Yeah, I can't even.
What else can you say?
Really not much. There's not much else to it. I mean, give me another lefty quarterback that's been good.
Like Vic.
He's not. That's what I'm gonna. That's what I mean. He's not Michael Vick like athletic.
Steve Young,
so,
Mark Brunell.
Steve Young. That was 20 years ago.
Mark Brunell.
Mark Brunell was all I remember him as being a backup with the Jaguars.
Warren Moon.
He was righty. I mean, who else? Tim Tebow?
Yeah, there you go. You won a playoff game.
Yeah, he did.
Demarius Thomas won him a playoff game.
Maybe we'll come up with a power ranking list of best left-handed quarterbacks.
Two is probably number 2 behind Steve.
He's probably on the list.
Steve Young. He's probably like tied for 3rd for touchdowns.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
we'll chalk it up another list that none of us will make.
That would be a fun one.
My top 25 NBA list is just about finished. Still got to put a couple more touches on it, but I should have it out to you by March 2022.
Josh Giddey on there?
Yeah, he's up to number 4 after his near triple-double in his 3rd career NBA game.
Kyle, how's the Daniel Jones film session?
He had a good catch this week. He had
That was a great catch.
That was a great catch. But, all right, So the next part of the NFL discussion, I have random questions going to be a spring on you guys, and I blanked out the teams.
Oh, is this a new segment you came up with?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
Oh, this is nice. All right.
All right.
This will be fun. This will be fun.
Can blank win the Super Bowl? And I'm asking you, can the Cincinnati Bengals win the Super Bowl this year?
No way in hell.
No.
All right, well, someone expand upon it other than just no way in hell.
I mean, I think it's one of those things. It's like whenever these new teams burst onto the scene and like become good, they might win it in like a couple of years. But it always, I mean, none of them have any experience. So I think they'll probably, I mean, if they make the playoffs, there's still a long way to go. I think they'll probably have like a late game turnover, like a dumb mistake, one of those teams that gets kicked out of the playoffs, and then they can be back next year. No Super Bowl.
That O-line, I think, is going to hold them back. I think this defense has really improved, especially on the edges, and they have two of the better safeties in football. If Joe's, has time and is able to stay healthy with that O-line, I think the sky's the limit. But, yeah, I think it's a little premature there, especially with, some of the teams they're going to see moving forward. With that being said, though, I mean, winning at Pittsburgh and at Baltimore is a pretty impressive, for the start of this year, going in there and beating them in those two places.
What about you, Athensman? What do you think?
Huh?
You.
What? What did you call me?
I don't know. Just talk.
Athensman.
Who?
Yeah. No, they're not. They're not winning the Super Bowl for the same reasons. Like they haven't. Cincinnati won a playoff game in 30 years. Let's pump the brakes on Super Bowl talk. You think they're going to win the Super Bowl? You answer your own question.
These questions aren't
going to say yes. You're going to say yes, aren't you?
You're not even going to get close to goading me into this. I'm just saying they're at the top of the conference right now, and we're 7 weeks in. So it was a question.
We're 7 weeks in.
Yeah, but the number
7
one
weeks in, not even close to halfway with this added another week bullshit. We got a long way to go. I can't believe you picked the Bengals to go to the damn Super Bowl.
Excuse me for asking about the 1 seed in the AFC in Week 8. Shit. All right, next question. Since neither of you guys fucking picked the 1 seed, who is the best team in the AFC right now?
Bengals.
Is it the Titans? Are the Titans the best team in the AFC?
Hell no.
No, not even close.
Yes.
All right, Chuck, why are the Titans the best team in the AFC?
2 words. King Henry. If that guy starts throwing, the league is fucked.
And then we had 2 resounding no's on the Tennessee Titans.
Bills.
Why?
Bills ain't even making the playoffs.
The Titans just beat the Bills.
I mean, yeah, the Titans were were home prime time, and I mean, who knows? They went for it on 4th and inches, and they just came up an inch short in a football game. So I don't look too much into that. I still think it's the Bills.
Same from you, Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget about a couple of weeks ago when Chandler Jones had 5 sacks on him and the defense was having a bunch of issues. I think their staff's doing a really good job these last couple of weeks, especially scheme-wise, some of the things they're doing. But as a whole, with their defense and their back end, I don't think so. And it's hit or miss sometimes with Henry and Julio and A.J. Brown. Just got to get that consistency going with the offense still.
Yeah, and I would agree with you too. I think the Bills are probably going to be the most consistent team throughout the year, but the Titans always seem like they can beat anybody at any time.
Hey, the Titans. Hold on, the Titans are a weird squad, just because, like you kind of said, they're very inconsistent. But if you get them on a good week, best team in the league probably with Henry, and then I don't know, he's unstoppable.
That's the thing. Yeah, they're starting to hit their stride.
They lose to the Jets, and then they beat the Bills and the Chiefs back-to-back weeks. So, I don't know. They're a little up and down, but I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs.
I think if that offense can hit their stride like they are, yeah, they're going to be scary.
All right. To move on to some contenders on the NFC side, do you trust the Rams or the Packers more going forward for the rest of the season? Chuck, we're going to start with you because you had an audible gasp at the question.
That's a good question. I'm going to go with the Rams just because I don't know about the Packers defense. I think it's a little spotty. And I think the Rams are pretty like one of the more complete teams in the NFL. So I'll probably go with the Rams. I think Stafford's looking pretty good there. They're looking solid.
I'll piggyback off Yug there. I think the Rams are good. The Packers defense is a little spotty. And the Rams with Sean McVay got a little bit more experience. And I don't know, it could be a potential NFC championship the way things are lining up. Maybe we'll see, but I like the Rams probably more than the Packers. That defense is a little spotty.
Now, are we speaking on going into the playoffs or as far as a deep run and a potential matchup in the playoffs?
You could do both.
I think Green Bay is going to have a lot easier time with their division.
True.
Going into the playoffs. If you look down, like Tom said, possible NFC championship game, I still got to stick with my preseason pick in the Rams and how explosive that offense is and big plays they can make on defense.
I'm going to disagree with everybody on this one. For whatever reason, Green Bay's not healthy right now. Hopefully they get healthy going in the playoffs, but we talk about experience. What has Matthew Stafford done in the playoffs? And what has Aaron Rodgers done in the playoffs? I think
the
that
NFC championship every year. What do you mean?
All right, well, Matt Stafford
wins a game or two, makes up some little dance move, and then loses a game. I mean, he's pretty good at it. Consistent.
Yeah, and Stafford's pretty good at not winning one yet. So I think the gap at quarterback, while I respect Stafford, I think the Rams might have to take lumps one time before Stafford can get hot.
I just look at the talent around Stafford. I don't think he has to play to Rodgers' level necessarily.
All right.
Would be my rebuttal.
That's a fair – I think they're pretty close. I think they're the pretty clear top three teams in the NFC right now.
The Buccaneers don't exist?
I still try to pretend like the Cardinals don't exist, actually, but
so who's out of the top three?
It should be a top four. I apologize.
Well, you said top three, though.
Come on, list man.
Yeah, you love making lists.
All right. Well, speaking of lists, top quarterbacks in the draft, is the sky falling in Chicago and New York yet with their quarterbacks play?
I'm going to go Chicago, no. New York, maybe, probably. Zach Wilson's now he's hurt, so he's losing time out there to get reps in a lost season. Bears, I think they need a new coach. Dude, that guy's – I don't know what the fuck they're holding on to that guy for, but I think Fields has a better shot. But Wilson, he's running for his life back there.
What do you think, Tom?
I mean, I think it's way too early to say it on either of those players because 7 weeks into their rookie season. So I wouldn't say the sky's falling in. But, I mean, the Jets have a horrible roster and the Bears have a horrible coach. So it's definitely not on the quarterback. I would just give them both more time and not freak out. Kyle,
do you think Justin Fields will have more luck this week without Matt Nagy on the field because he has COVID?
This will help with my answer. I just think, luckily with Zach Wilson's case in the Jets, they have a new regime in there. Hopefully, their whole plan is, building around him, continuing to fortify that offensive line and progressing him. As in the case with the Bears is, you don't even know if that staff is going to be there next year. So I wonder if that'll hurt him, for the long run compared to, putting it all in for one guy like the Jets do. So, and I don't think Fields necessarily has, great around him too. That's a solid defense, but that O-line could use some help as well. So
I'm going to piggyback off of Kyle. I am actually more concerned about Justin Fields right now because kind of like what he said, if they're going to do a whole regime shift here, and they hire a new coach that isn't patient with Justin Fields, I think he could be out of a job pretty quick. So Justin Fields struggles with the pressure and making decisions quickly. And when you have a shit offensive line and a coach that sucks, can't do that very easily. But I don't know. I think there's a chance Fields is people are worried about him after 2 years and about to want to move on.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I don't know about you guys, but I think the intrigue with a lot of these quarterbacks and why they're drafted so high and everything is because you hope he's a guy like Mahomes or Rodgers who you can literally, basically put a team on his back and know you're going to have a shot each week. And it's these teams draft these guys early, but they don't put pieces around them that they need to keep them healthy, or, the coaches that want to work with them and do what they need to do to make them better. So that's where I think a lot of these guys struggle, and then they're called busts, So.
Oh yeah, it's pretty ridiculous that everyone expects to draft the next Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, no, and like when you make the comparisons like Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow, when you look at last year, like people already saw it from Justin Herbert and this point of last year. And how many times does the quarterback flip this late? Like you already expect to see something good at this point. So I don't know.
I think you've seen some of the flashes with both of the kids that they saw that made them draft them. It's just, seeing them progress with the things they were struggling majorly with, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, Wilson thinks he's Patrick Mahomes already. That's his biggest problem. So he's running around like he has a good offensive line, and I think he's going to get himself killed pretty quickly. But we need to take a break before we do the picks.
DK Metcalf scored a touchdown. I lost another league. Might go on side this week.
Geno Smith's going to
you
beat
beat me in both leagues this week, I think. Was that you?
Yep. So GG's.
Michael Pittman going off. What's up with that?
I just traded him for a 22nd round pick.
I know. I saw it.
Mike Pittman touchdown at the end of the game, that lost me a league.
Who'd you trade him to?
Chuck. But I wanted that guy. I need him back. I did not want a 22nd round pick.
What?
You heard me. I did not want a 22nd round pick.
2 seconds.
He wanted 2 second-round picks?
Yeah, he was bitching to me earlier today about it, and I'm like,
I didn't fucking know that. I thought he was dicking around. Like when I throw him in, when we do trades, like with for the 23rd, for the 25th.
Wait, yeah. What'd you trade for him?
If he wants 2 second-round picks, he can have Pittman back. I won't.
I thought that's what it was.
I figured I had a shot at getting a pick for Jameis, but like I said, I did not want a 22nd round pick. I need Michael Pittman back.
I thought you were just dicking around.
No, I wanted 2 second round picks. That's what I wanted to offer.
Oh, so we got to reverse it.
If you're not going to take that, I need him back.
Did it already go through?
We can send him back.
Yeah, that one went through pretty quick as opposed to trades in the past that maybe took a little bit more time.
Yeah, Chuck, what do you want to say to that as co-commissioner? You had a hand in some of those trades executions today.
No, I honestly thought he was dicking around because I've done trades with you in the past where we just fucking swap 19th and 20th.
Why are those even on there? Why are those even a thing?
I don't think you can get rid of them.
I think it's for leagues where you like keep only like 5 or 6 people and the rest go back into a draft and you have all those slots to fill.
Yeah.
All right, well, I need Michael Pittman back unless you're willing to give me 2 second rounders.
No, we'll send them. I'll send them back.
Fair enough.
All right.
Hold on before we get off the topic here? How do you mistake a second round pick for a 22nd? Were you?
There's twos. There's so many twos. Year 2022, 2023, and you have 8. You have 8 second round picks.
They make you click like 6 times to fire a trade off. Are you sure you fire off?
Anyway, I know I didn't intend to freaking want this 22nd round pick.
All right, we'll have to do it. Well, Ben Verbal's gonna lose his fucking mind. He's gonna think there's collusion going on.
Dude, you gotta hear what Ben Verbal texted Michael McGannon today.
Is it about
What?
the dynasty?
Yeah, Mike texted me and AJ. He offered Mike 2 4th-round picks for Saquon Barkley. Sincerely.
God.
Sincerely.
How does he even have 2 4th-round picks?
I traded him one.
Jeez.
Does he have Joe Burrow at least still?
Jeez, man.
His first round pick.
Yeah, first overall.
Anyone want Jalen Hurts? He's just rotting on my bench.
Just trading to Ben.
Tried.
Mac's been playing pretty well with Russell Wilson now.
Yeah, Tom, I might talk to you about that one because my quarterback situation is pretty bad.
Oh, I can help you. Yeah, you got Big Ben still.
Speaking of bad quarterback situations, what the fuck are the Carolina Panthers doing? Young, this was a team that you were championing as your big win that you'd picked them to be in the playoffs after they went 3-0 against 3 shit teams.
And they've lost 4 in a row.
Yeah, what the hell is going on in Carolina, Chuck?
I wish I knew, but I don't watch a whole lot of the Panthers as it is. But I do remember picking them at the beginning of the year to make the playoffs. I think they have been put up some shitty outings the last couple weeks, but you got to take it with a grain of salt. They're missing McCaffrey, who's I feel like more than half their offense. So when McCaffrey comes back, maybe they could get a little jolt. But yeah, Darnold was flying high after 3 weeks. People were talking about MVP odds and all that.
Colin Coward even gave up on him now.
That shit's come crashing down. But I think you gotta wait a little bit because they're missing the best player in the league. So you can't count them out yet. But definitely not reassuring if you're a Panthers fan, who I know zero of.
Paulie, are you gonna let Chuck get away with saying Christian McCaffrey's the best player in the NFL?
He's up
Did
there.
he say that?
Yeah, he just said that.
No, that's not true.
He's having the best top 3 running back in the NFL.
I'd rather have J.C. Treader.
Yeah, me too.
You'd rather have Eric Glover?
Yeah, I would rather have Eric Glover Williams.
I'd rather guard him.
All right. We're moving along to the pick segment of the week. I actually got the leaderboard on the notes here, even though Chuck doesn't have the notes. At first place after all of us had shit weeks last week, by the way, but Tom went 2-3. And
we still got the Monday night game, right?
Yeah, still waiting on the Monday night game, but that'll put you at 14-13-1 on the year going into Monday night. And then after my shit week of 1-4, my lock of the week of the Lions was the only one I got right. I moved to 13-14-1 below Tom. And then we have the half-season dynamo, Kyle Policicchio.
We'll just keep moving up that leaderboard.
Yeah, with a nice clean 4-6-1 record at 41% winning percentage. And then somehow managing to be below 40%. At 37.5%, 10-17-1. Yug.
He's good at what he does, folks. One of the best.
He did
fade me every time.
Chuck, believe it or not, the only picks you got right last week were the ones you said that you were just flipping to just go the opposite way of all of us.
It's not reassuring, but that's why we do it. That's why we're doing it every week. So I'm back here and I'm ready to go 5-0.
All right. Well, speaking of your favorite team in the AFC, they are a 1-point dog in Indianapolis this week. The Indianapolis Colts are favored by 1 against the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, give me the Titans all day. Derrick Henry's going to run all over them. Carson Wentz is bound for a pick or a fumble or something. A.J. Brown's picking up steam. Their defense isn't as bad as I think everybody thought it was. It's still not great, but it's not like the Chiefs. So,
you think
Henry? Give me the Titans.
You think Elijah Mitchell's better than Derrick Henry?
He's well on his way. He needs to gain about 70 pounds, and a little bit of muscle, and grow out of sick dreads. But yeah, he's probably second.
Kyle, what do you got in this matchup?
I'm going to take the Colts here. They're rolling at home. Big divisional matchup.
You like Quentin Nelson, don't you? Big trenches guy.
Buckner. You know about him, right?
Oh, yeah. He got all up in our junk last night. He was making it hell for him. All right, Tom, what do you got for us? Everybody do the opposite of what's about to happen.
No, that's what they should do to you. I'm in first. Let's remember. And Yug, you're in luck because I'm rolling with the Titans as well. So you can go ahead and chalk that up for a dub. And I know Trent's going to go ahead and go with the Colts.
I honestly really struggled with this one, but I am going to go with
Spend on it.
I think Tennessee. I'm still going to go with them.
Idiot.
I'm nervous going with Chuck, and I do feel like I'm looking at this line wondering why Indianapolis is favored, so I'm going to roll with them. All right, but now the next one, Steelers-Browns in Cleveland. Browns are 3.5-point favorites. We're moved from 3 to 3.5. Tom, what are you thinking for the Browns this Sunday?
I do like them in this matchup, actually. I think they're going to give Big Ben a hard time, and they're going to struggle to move the football. And I think the run game for the Browns does enough. As long as they don't turn it over, I think they can win and cover. Probably a close one, though. Less than a touchdown. But I got the Browns.
Polly?
I agree with Tom here. I think the Browns are going to continue to make Ben's life hell back there with his old age. I think they're going to make enough plays there, get some turnovers, control their run game, and hopefully get a few more explosive pass plays there.
Not Tom. Jock.
I'm going to go with the Steelers. I think you might see Dwayne Haskins in this game, but I think the Steelers are going to win it.
Is that a good sign? Is that what you want?
I think TJ Watt's got something to prove, being the highest paid player in the league and not playing like it so far.
Highest paid player in the league.
Dude, TJ Watt's got like 7 sacks. He's not paying like it.
Browns are banged up.
No, Nick Chubb and Conklin are back.
Kareem Hunt's out, the real RB1 in town. And I think the Steelers, they just got it. They just got that mojo. They got the Browns number over the years. So I'm going with what I've seen.
All right. Baker 3-3 against the Steelers, and he's going to remain 3-3 as the Browns win this Sunday with Case Keenum. I think the Steelers might score 7 points, and I think it's going to be 13-7. It's going to be an awful game.
Maybe a defensive touchdown by the Brownies. That might be a little props key.
Yeah. Sprinkle on it if you're an illegal gambling state. Chuck, we've played it pretty easy on you most of the day. I didn't have to ask you any tough questions about Trey Lance, but 49ers against the Bears, -3. You got them?
Yep. Just not because I want to, but I feel like because I have to. They win this. If they lose this one, the season's over, if it isn't already. Shanahan just came out and said that Garoppolo is going to be the starter, so I don't even think he cares anymore. So why should I? If Trey Lance is healthy, he's got to be out there the rest of the way. But I think they'll find a way. I think they'll get after Fields a little bit, make him make some mistakes, and win this one. But I don't know how it's going to look much further beyond that.
Ollie?
I'd take the Niners here as well, in a close one, but hopefully some of their offensive playmakers can Adebo can continue to have some big plays there, because not a lot's going well in San Fran right now.
And let me just add, if you have any plans at all to watch this game on Sunday, you probably shouldn't. There's probably something more productive you could be doing with your time. Literally any other game is probably going to be more interesting than this one. If you want to see some turnovers, tune on in, but it should be pretty ugly.
Chuck, have you ever heard an announcer say oops as the ball comes out of a quarterback's hand, like Chris Collinsworth said about Jimmy Garoppolo?
Yeah,
He did.
wasn't pretty. I'm not going to sit here and blame the conditions, but they're not ideal. But you still got to find a way to fire that puppy off. I don't care if you got to fucking punt it to him. You just not pretty. It's just not pretty. But it's not pretty in Chicago either. They're going through some shit too. So it's going to be a battle of the shits.
And with that, Tom, who you got?
I feel like it's never been pretty in Chicago. And let's keep in mind, I did pick them to be like my sleeper team to make the playoffs. So I'm going to roll with the Bears here to get to 500 and still have a realistic shot there somehow, because they do just always suck. But they made the playoffs last year somehow. I think they somehow do it again this year. Like I said, I don't know how they do it, but I think they get the train back on the tracks here. Fun fact too, Matt Nagy actually has a better career win percentage than Kyle Shanahan. So it's going to be a good matchup between those coaches that honestly maybe one should be on the hot seat while the other shouldn't. But one, seems to get all the glory, and one obviously should be out of town. I thought it was really interesting. I definitely didn't expect that, but it's true.
Nagy's got COVID, might be out.
Oh, that's true. Well, maybe it's better for the Bears. I still like the Bears there.
But I don't think anything differently of Matt Nagy, but I think Kyle Shanahan should definitely be on a hot seat. Like, if you look at his at some point you got to start taking accountability, because he's been the coach for 5 years now, and if the trend continues, that's gonna be 4 out of 5 losing seasons. And yes, you can blame injuries and all that shit, but at the same time, 5 years is 5 years. I think
he's got a losing record.
I think, and it's really not that close to 500 if I'm correct there.
Not really.
And they had that one really good year, but the other 3 or 4 years, yes, injuries and stuff, and he hasn't had the quarterback. But it just finds me. I find it hard to believe though they'd let go of Kyle Shanahan before John Lynch, just because they just drafted a quarterback and mortgaged the whole future. So that's the thing. But I think Kyle Shanahan's better be counting his blessings. He's gonna be up and out of there. Trade deadline. Trade him for a 6th.
All right, well, with all saying all that, I think the Niners are still going to win this week. I thought we were saving the death and funeral of the 49ers for a couple weeks, but Chuck's starting a little early. Moving on to New England and Los Angeles this week. Chuck, going back, I was listening to our podcasts, and you picked the Patriots to make it to the conference championship. So – Tom, what do you have to say about that before I set the rest of this game up?
I really like that pick still. Psych. That's terrible pick.
Let me ask you one question. Tom, I'm going to ask you, since you've decided to make the smart-ass comment, how many points did the Patriots score this week?
51, right?
50 burger. They're dropping 50 bombs on the league.
So they're dropping 50 again in L.A. Is that what you're telling me?
Say it.
They fucking might. I wouldn't be surprised one bit if they go into SoFi. Those Patriot fans travel well. SoFi, the other people got other things to do in LA on a Sunday afternoon. I think maybe Mac Jones does go in there and drop a deuce on the 50 and put up 50 points again.
Tom, what do you think? Will they cover the spread?
I don't think they're going to score 50 points. But that's a tricky play there in LA. I guess I'll go with the better team. I'm going to go with the Chargers in the points. I think they win by a touchdown.
Tom?
But I don't feel comfortable about it. That was probably my least confident one of the week.
Yeah, it's a tough pick.
I think switch later on.
I think I'm going to ride with you, though. I think we've had success together. I think I'm going to ride with you on this one, though, because I think even if it's a tight game, a last-second score by the Chargers probably gets them a cover to get to 6. Paulie?
I'll piggyback right after you guys. I think big here that it's in LA, basically for the fact that it's non-New England. And I just got to go with, like Tom said, my feeling of who the better overall team is at home. You expect them to cover Chargers.
All right, and then I'll set up this last one before we get to the lock of the week. We got Bucks Saints +5 in New Orleans. The Saints are playing right now. They're losing by 7 to the Seahawks in the rain. So that
Wait,
might.
Geno Smith's playing quarterback, right? I thought we were everyone shitting on him last week.
I mean, Young, he's up 7. But what do you got in the matchup? New Orleans hosting Tampa +5, Chuck.
Brady. Next question. Give me the Bucks.
Paulie?
Bucks. My only road dog.
This one's easy.
Tom?
Brady.
Pick the Saints.
That's your team.
I am. I have to pick the Saints. I mean, right now, I don't care that they're down 7-0 in Seattle. They'll get out of this one alive. Jameis always pulls it out. I just Saints are getting healthy, getting a lot of their defensive guys back. Buccaneers riding high after a dominant victory. And for those who don't know this, I picked the Saints to be in the conference championship before the year started. So I'm riding with my guy Jameis, and I think this is where they start to pick it up.
You picked the Saints?
You picked the Patriots.
I picked Bill Belichick. That's never a bad bet.
I picked Sean Payton, and the Saints kicked the Patriots' ass.
Oh, Sean Payton, the guy that's had Drew Brees for the last 15 fucking years, has been the one Super Bowl and is in the playoffs every year. Sean Payton.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
All right. Well, lock of the week time, Tom. You get to lead off because you are atop of the leaderboard.
Great. I guess I'm gonna take the Cowboys -2.5 on the road against Minnesota as my lock of the week because I'm not touching the Chiefs again.
What makes you think that Dallas is going to win that game, Tom? I almost wanted to pit this one as one of my picks, but I had to get the 49ers in this show somehow.
I mean, I think they're actually good. And by a field goal, I think they could at least win. The Vikings aren't that good, are they?
I don't know. I'm like kind of don't think we know because everyone kind of wrote the Vikings off after they lost to the Bengals, and then they lost to the Cardinals. So and they're on the Browns. So those are their three losses.
Teams, yeah.
Well, I still think Dallas is better than them, so I'm gonna ride with the boys.
I think you're right. I was thinking about taking Dallas. I just think the Vikings might be the Bears of this year that sneak in the playoffs. But
fair enough.
But the Cowboys are pretty good.
Well, there's my lock. Mortal lock.
Paulie. Lock of the week.
Give me the Lions. They get it done this week. First one. Put it on the board.
I like that one.
The Lions?
Correct.
Did you just say the Lions?
I mean, I picked the Lions last week, but this spread's only 3.5.
First
Like
one
the
of the year.
Detroit
Big
Lions?
one for Campbell. You heard it here first.
Who do they even play?
Philly. At Detroit, they're 3.5 point dogs.
They did just fake it twice. 2 fake punts in one game. That is pretty ballsy. I'll give you that. Well,
And an onside kick.
I guess you already got nothing to lose in week 7. Why the hell not?
All right, Chuck. Lock of the week.
Titans -1 or +1, whatever they are.
He's doubling down.
I'm doubling down. I'm going all in on the Titans, the Titans.
And for those of you keeping score at home, Chuck is 0-3 previously when he locks a pick that we already made that day. So
Stay away.
Shit, can I change my pick?
That's good analytics right there. That's good stats right there. Keep those coming.
Yeah. So
Those stats are brought to you by Microsoft Teams.
Work smarter together.
So last week I went against the Rams and picked the Lions to cover that matchup. It's my lock of the week. I'm going to go with the Rams to cover the 14-point spread against Houston. I think the Rams might be slightly motivated after not looking good against the Lions and want to make their presence felt and have a dominant victory. What do you guys think?
This ain't college football.
You don't think so?
Oh, yeah. It's not like they got to beat a team by 30 to be like prove themselves.
I just think flashy LA might want it, you know?
I mean, the Texans stink. It's not a bad pick, but
Who is the lock?
The Rams to beat the Texans by 14.
You?
That's a bad pick.
Why?
Just a bad pick. It's a very you pick.
I just picked them to cover I picked the Lions to cover a 16.5-point spread last week.
You also picked Mike Sims Walker and Tim Hightower to have breakout years.
Hey, they broke out of the
And you
league.
traded Isaiah Crowell for Alvin Kamara.
No, he didn't.
All right, well, at least
He did it.
I didn't trade Stephon Diggs for 2 late seconds.
Hey, those two late. Wait a second here. No. I forget how it happened, but I ended up fleecing you in that deal.
No, I'm talking about your deal with Tom.
I know, but I got those 2 second-round picks, and then somehow they ended up with you in like a David Montgomery deal or something like that.
No.
I just-
what are you
that
talking
was the-
about?
How long did you have Stephon Diggs on your team, Chuck? Like 10 minutes?
About a week. He didn't look good in my uniforms, and he didn't show up to practice.
Yeah, that was like you looking at him as not even a football player, Yug. It's kind of fucked. Just looking at him as an asset.
My team's turning a corner right now. We're about to blow the roof off the fucking league in the back half.
Hey, wait, you might beat somebody, don't you?
I
you
got
have a
a shot at beating Don, the best team in the league tonight, and that's gonna fuel that's gonna fuel the hell out of my team. We are I don't want to roster bait about my team.
Right now, you got Geno Smith and Marquez Callaway with 0 points.
I'm telling you, all those rookies I drafted, they're all balling.
Wait, you picked up Geno Smith in the Dynasty League after shitting on him all over this shit?
Yeah, I had no other options. There literally were no other options. It was either him or Davis Mills.
Thank God I picked up Big Ben last week, so then you had to pick him up.
Yeah, I don't need Big Ben. I think I'd probably leave my thing blank before I pick Big Ben up in the dynasty. All right, what are we talking about again?
I think we're pretty
That's
much
it.
done. Yeah. We were just
We're
talking
done?
about the flea flicker lead.
Shooting the shit?
Yeah.
Is it recording?
Yeah.
Well, how are the kids?
Paulie.
All right, see you guys next week.
Well, this was good. This was fun. This was very nice.
Host,
Is
any
that it?
closing remarks?
No, I just think you guys did a great job today. You know, you came out, you showed up
Are we
on
still-
time.
Are we still getting paid?
Actually, we're all down minus $3 because I had to spend money to post the podcast because that's you have to apparently.
Just
Yeah, we
put
got
it
an
on.
Apple yet? Put it on YouTube.
Just
I put it on YouTube.
Just
I got a request to put from someone to put on YouTube.
All right.
Start reaching out to your sources. We'll get some special guests on. Maybe we'll get Myles Garrett on or something.
Well, I was trying to book Webb, but we moved.
I got a deep connection to Costa Kufis somehow down the line.
Bring them on.
That's true. No, I think we got to get Webb on next week. He's texted me 3 times about it. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's on next week.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know Webb, he's a good guy. He's notorious for sleeping through drafts, being the last guy in the league to pay, and having a good time.
That's a pretty good rundown. Chip said something about it when I saw him.
First of all, Chip is no longer active in
I told him
the ESPN league.
Yeah.
He just picked an entire Browns roster this year.
Yeah.
Got David Njoku playing.
Yeah, we really lost Chris on the fantasy thing.
So, yeah. He's got 49 points this week. He played Baker Mayfield and Kareem Hunt.
He probably forgot his password.
No, that's Webb.
Yep, who will be on next week, I think.
Yeah.
Figure out how to use the Zoom link. That could be another process.
That could be another process. Also, we got to get Succules on.
Yeah, if he'll come out of the hibernation.
Yeah,
Looked like he was having a good time at the wedding.
yeah, he got a fresh haircut too.
If he starts going on about the Packers, we got to have some sort of mute button on deck just in case. Once he goes, he goes.
Yeah, he really likes to expound upon the Pack.
All righty.
That's a wrap.
Football.
Well, until next week.
Watch the Seahawks win. You guys were all wrong on this one.
Geno Geno Smith. Bet against him, ladies and gentlemen. Bet against him.